Good morning from Seaside, Oregon. This is Charlene, and I'm going to take you through a little bit of yoga in our hotel room. I meant to do it out there on the beach, but it's looking a little rainy today. So we'll check the weather forecast. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, you'll get to do a little bit of yoga with me out on the beach. But for now, you might see some people pass by. This is the promenade right outside the window. And take my word for it, there's some lovely waves crashing out there today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. On your mat, I'm going to be facing this way, looking out towards the water. Let's all come down to a child's pose to begin. So have the toes together and knees apart. Sit back on the heels and just crawl those fingertips forward. Relax the head down. Get ready for your practice today. Go ahead and take some nice deep breaths right into the backs of the lungs. And as you exhale, melt a little bit more into your mat. Maybe crawl those fingertips forward another inch or so. Find some space in the spine. And let's do one more breath here in our child's pose. And then just come up onto your hands and knees. We're going to thread the needle, get the upper back stretched a little bit. Take this right hand, reach underneath, just bring the shoulder down. Hips are going to stick up, that's okay. Press the back of that hand into your mat or into the floor. And now take that left hand to your lower back, gentle twist, just waking up. And let's try that on the other side. So use your left hand to press yourself up. Going the other way, left hand reaches underneath. Just rest the ear on your mat. Press the back of that left hand into the floor. Open up that shoulder a little bit more. Right hand to the lower back. Gentle twist. We'll have a few twists today. This one's just warming us up. And now right hand presses you up. One more child's pose. Walk those hands forward. Sit those hips back. And always send breath to your tight spots. So right here in the morning, it might be hips, it might be lower back. So as you take that deep breath in, imagine that breath traveling to those tight, sore spots, giving them a little massage to wake them up. And let's come up to hands and knees again. We'll go into a few cat and cow. So as you breathe in, bringing the heart forward between the shoulders. And then as you exhale, round the back, tuck that tailbone under. And again, inhale, open up. Exhale, round and contract. Try to make it an even curve all the way down. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. One more time, deep breath in. And exhale, round. Let's tuck those toes under. We're going to get into a little downward dog. So we're going to bring those hips up. Think of those hips being light. Press back towards the heels. Let those heels drop when you're ready. Now this being our first downward dog of the morning, go ahead and take your time here. Pedal out the feet. Find that perfect placement for you. Again, you're going to think of those hips pressing back toward the heels. Head can drop in between the shoulders. There we go. Now as we inhale, we're going to try and flatten this out into our plank. So as we take our deep breath, let the hips drop. You have to walk those hands out a little bit. Bring the shoulders right over the wrists. And let's find our first plank. So pulling the belly button in and up, shoulder blades down the back. Reach out through the top of the head. And now as we exhale, pull those abdominals in even more. Press back to that downward dog. Holding it there. Let's do that again. Inhale, come out to your plank. Long and strong here. And exhale, press back. Okay. We're going to walk those feet up to your hands. So take 1 or 2 steps to the top of the mat. Drop those hips a little bit. So my fingertips are still on the mat. Dropping the hips as low as you can go. Get your weight back toward your heels. And then when you're ready, draw those arms up. Chest lifts up off the thighs. We're going into our chair pose. So hold it there. Feel some warmth in the legs. Maybe you sit a little bit deeper. Hold it there for 1 more breath. And now as we inhale, stand it on up. Lengthen up as tall as you can. Slight arch back. And as we exhale, hands come down right here in front of the heart. And let's begin our sun salutation. So we're going to take our deep breath in, draw those arms up. As we exhale, let's fold over the legs. Keep the knees bent if you need to. Fingertips down to the mat. As we take our next breath in, just bring those hands up the shins. Lengthen that spine. Exhale, fold, maybe a little deeper. Inhale as we come all the way up. And let's try that again. Exhale, fold. Again, bend the knees if you need to. Get some space in the spine as you come halfway up. Draw it long. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And now we'll move on. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Now on this long exhale, bring the hands down, step the feet back to that plank. Hold it there. Take 1 more breath, and as we exhale, we're going to lower down to the mat nice and slow. So we breathe in. Exhale, elbows graze the rib cage, come down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down to the mat. Point those toes. And now lengthen through the front of the spine as we come up into our first little cobra. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, lower down. Now to get to our downward dog, you can go right into it. But this first one, I'm going to press up to hands and knees. Tuck the toes under, and then bring the hips up. I'll do a different version next time, but that's kind of your beginner version there. Again, press back towards the heels. At the end of this next exhale, walk the feet up to the hands. And let's go into that chair pose again. So drop the hips. Get your weight in your heels. Bring those arms up. So we're tall and light through the upper body, grounded through the lower body. Inhale, we're going to stand, slight arch. And let's fold again. Exhale, fold. Slide those hands up as we inhale, get some length. Now as we get warmer, as we exhale, you have the option, instead of stepping back, you can always hop back. I'll kind of do both. And now let's exhale, lower down, upper body strength. Inhale, let's come up to that cobra. Now as we exhale, I'm going to go right to that downward dog. Tuck the toes under, abdominals pull in. Press the hips back. And again, we'll hold it here. We're going to call this kind of a resting pose. So as we get through our sequence, we're feeling a little out of breath. Things are burning a little bit. When we get here, it's going to be like an ah moment. Now at the end of the next exhale, you can walk the feet in, or you can do a little hop. So you kind of come back and forth, and then finally hop it up. Drop those hips. Raise those arms. See if you can sit a little bit deeper. And then as we inhale, we're going to stand. Slight arch. Bring those hands down. Close the pose in our mountain. So now let's add a little bit more to our sun salutation. Inhale, draw those arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale on one breath, all the way down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, downward dog. Now with your right foot, inhale, right leg's gonna lift, not too high. Exhale, come to that plank, bring the nose towards the knee. Core is getting tight here. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, let's do that again. Bring the nose towards the knee, maybe you round a little bit. One more time. Inhale up. Now this time as we exhale, bring that foot right between the hands. You can take a moment to settle it in. Make sure that knee's over the ankle. Let's take this back foot, drop the heel down, and there's going to be a line from the heel to the arch of that back foot. Bring the hands up to that front thigh first. Try to get those hips to face forward. And bring those arms up. This is our warrior one. So again, grounded through the legs, light through the upper body. Take a breath here. Exhale, bring the hands around behind you. See if you can lift. Draw up through the sternum. And now as we exhale, let those arms lift behind you. Start to bring the chest down towards the thigh. And bow. So that leg's getting warm. Inhale, come back up to that warrior one. And now one long exhale, we're going all the way to the mat. Hands come down, foot steps back, lower down. Now if you want to, as we come up into our cobra, if you want to go a little bit more, lift those thighs up. It's upward facing dog. And then roll right over the toes to downward facing dog. And press back. Let's do this on the left side now. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bring that knee under. Core holds you tight. Inhale back. Exhale, you can round a little bit, nose towards the knee. Leg comes back one more time. Now this time, exhale, bring that foot right between the hands. There you go. Settle it in a little bit. Let that back heel come down. So again, we have that line from the heel to the arch. Bring those hands up to that front thigh first. Try to get those hips to face forward. If you need to, come in a little bit to make that happen. Arms lift. Sink down with the lower body. Reach up with the upper body. And now exhale, bring the hands around behind. Open up through the chest. We're going to bow. Bring it on down. Feel those strong legs holding you up. Open up through the chest. As we inhale, let's come back up. And now one long exhale, hands come down. Step back and lower. Into your back bend, either your cobra or your upward facing dog. Here's cobra. There's up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press back. So now we've completed that first sequence. Use this as your resting pose. You can always drop into child's pose if you'd like. At the end of this exhale, either walk or jump the feet up to the hands. I'll walk. Hands on those thighs. Let's come up halfway. Get some length. Exhale, fold. Now let's drop into that chair. Drop the hips. Weight in the heels. Bring those arms up. Good. Inhale, stand. We're going to go through it again, a little more. Add a little more to it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. One long exhale, either walk or jump back, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right leg lifts, inhale, up. Exhale, bring the foot between the hands right away. Set that heel down. We're going to come right up to that warrior one. Exhale, we take our bow. Take those hands back. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands to the mat, take it back. And down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down. Left leg, here we go. Inhale up. Exhale, bring that foot right between the hands. Set it up right away so you can float out to that warrior one. Exhale, hands back, take your bow. Inhale, back up. Now try to time the breath. One long exhale as the hands come down. Step back and lower. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward dog. And hold. So take this time just to see how you feel. How does the right side compare to the left side? How are the hips feeling? How are the ankles feeling? And you can pedal out the feet. Take one more breath here, and then once we exhale, walk or jump the feet up. Hands to the shins. Let's get some length through that spine as we inhale. Exhale, we fold. Drop the hips. Inhale to your chair. Inhale, let's stand, slight arch. And exhale, hands come down, close that pose. All right, I'm gonna turn and face you for a little bit of standing work, and then we'll come back to our sun salutation. So let me face you. So feel yourself grounded in both legs. Bring that weight over to that right foot. We're gonna go into our tree pose. So go ahead and take that foot. If you want to, you can come to the shin or the ankle, or you can pull it up nice and high. Now, depending on what kind of pants you're wearing today, the foot might slip a little bit. If it does, no problem. Just let it settle in wherever. Let's bring those hands here. So now root down through that right foot. Focus on a point in front of you, and then if you'd like, we're gonna bring those hands up. So watch that the shoulders aren't hunched around the ears. Open up that left hip. Good. And trees do sway in the wind, so if you're wobbling around a little bit, that's okay. Good. And we'll exhale, bring the hands on down. Good job. And then gently let that foot come down. Bend the knees. Let's do that on the other side. See if we're more rooted on one side versus the other. Weight on that left foot. Let that right leg become light. Again, you can put it here at the ankle or the shin. If you want to, you can grab that ankle. Pull the leg up a little higher. Set it in. Now there's some resistance there. The thigh's pressing into the foot's pressing into the thigh. Open up that right hip. Feeling a little wobbly today. All right, we'll take those arms up. Find your focus here. Maybe it's a spot in front of you. Maybe you're looking right at me. Good. Settle in. Focus on your breath. And then on that exhale, lower the hands. And then bring that foot down. Bend those knees. Very good. So again, if you're feeling a little bit wobbly, the important thing is that you don't lose your breath. If you find yourself holding your breath, that's a good sign to take a little break. Back to the front of my mat. We're going to add our warrior two now. Hands in our namaste. Take that deep breath in, draw the arms up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, we come halfway up. Exhale all the way down, either walk or jump back and lower. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Right leg going first. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it between the hands. Set that foot, warrior one. Now we're going to take that bow, hands come behind. Strong legs. Inhale, come back up to that warrior one. Now as we go to warrior two, pivot. So we have a nice bend in that right knee, right over the ankle. We have our alignment, heel to arch. Sink down a little bit. Let the upper body lift. Try to pull yourself back a little bit so we're not leaning out over that leg. Not yet anyway. Look out over the fingers. Very good. Now we can do a little lean. Bring that elbow down to the thigh. Take that other arm over and see if you can imagine a long line from that left foot all the way up through the fingertips. Good. And now inhale, come back up to warrior two. We're going to go the other way to our reverse warrior. Hand down the thigh, other arm come up and over. Stay rooted and grounded through those legs. Inhale, come up. And let's go one more time each way. So we're going to inhale here. Exhale, side angle. Inhale up. Exhale, reverse. Good. Now we inhale. Exhale, come all the way down. Step back and lower. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Now as we go to the left side, I'm going to have my back to you, so just follow along. Inhale, left leg up. And exhale, foot comes between the hands. Set up for that warrior one. Big breath in, float up. Exhale, we take our bow. Inhale, come back up. And now exhale, pivot. So take a second to get your alignment. You have that knee over the ankle. Heel lines up with the arch. And careful that we're not leaning too far forward yet. Get your shoulders right over your hips. Grow a little bit taller. Look over those fingers. And now left elbow down to the thigh. Take that right arm up. Long line from that right heel all the way up to the fingers. Keep that arm right over the ear. Let's inhale, come back up. And now we go into that reverse warrior. The feet stay still, the legs stay still. Just slide that hand down the thigh. If you want, you can look up at your top hand. Inhale, come back up. Let's go each way again. So we're going to exhale, elbow to thigh, side angle. Inhale up. Exhale, hand down the thigh, reverse. Now we're going to come up out of this and down to the mat. So we're going to inhale, kind of cartwheel those arms down, step the foot back, and lower. Inhale to that back bend. Exhale, downward dog. There we go. Stay there for a moment. Now's a good time to rest. See how those hips are feeling, how the legs are feeling. Now we're going to come out to that plank. So bring the shoulders right over those wrists. We're going to go into a couple of side planks. So I'm going to face you first. I'm going to take that right hand, just put it right in the middle of the mat. Pivot there. I like to stagger the feet. I don't really like to stack the feet. It's a little painful for me. I'll bring that top arm up. Now think of a straight line going from that bottom hand all the way up to the top hand. And then use these obliques. Pull yourself up a little bit. Good. If you like, you can look up at that top hand. Now some of you, if you have stacked the feet, you might be able to lift that top leg. I'm a little off balance if I try to do it now because again I have staggered feet. So I'll stay here. We're going to take a breath in, and then as we exhale, just bring that top hand down. And again, I'm going to face away from you as we do the other side. Left hand's in the middle of the mat. Pivot around. Lift that hand up. Straight line from the bottom hand to the top hand. Lift up through those obliques. You can look up at that top hand if you'd like. And we're going to exhale, bring that hand back down. Let's do our chaturanga once again. So lower down. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward dog. At the end of this exhale, let's bring the feet forward. Walking or hopping. Hands slide up the legs, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, we fold. And now let's inhale, we come all the way up. And hands close. Good. We're going to go through that one more time, and then I'll turn and face you for some other poses. So let's bring those arms up. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we come halfway up. Exhale, you can walk or jump back. All the way down. Inhale to our back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Right leg, inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it between the hands. Set that foot down, warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, take your bow. Inhale, come back up. Ready to pivot to our warrior two. Take a breath to settle in. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, up. Exhale, reverse. Now we inhale, exhale all the way down. Step back. Inhale to our cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Left side, here we go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it between the hands. Float it up. Exhale, take your bow. Inhale, float back up. Get ready for our pivot. Right here, reach those arms out, sink a little deeper. Good, as we exhale, side angle. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, reverse. Inhale and exhale to cartwheel out of it. Inhale up. Exhale down. Step back and lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward dog. And stay. Might have built up a lot of heat with that. I know I did. Couple more breaths. Again, press back through the heels. You can adjust the hands anytime you need to if that mat's getting a little slippery. And now at the end of the exhale, we're going to walk those hands or jump. Walk the feet up to the hands. Inhale, lengthen away. Exhale, fold. Let's go one more chair pose. Drop the hips. Inhale, draw those arms up so you can get the arms a little higher as the butt sits a little lower. And now inhale, pull yourself long. Hands come down. Very good. I'm going to turn and face you now. We're going to take those feet wide. So either parallel, maybe even turned in a little bit. Shoulders right over the hips. Good. We're going to start with the hands just on the lower back. And just think of that sternum drawing up towards the ceiling. So we can get some length here, shoulders back. And you might eventually curve back a little bit. You don't have to go too far. Now as we exhale, take that length, bring it forward. Reach out over the legs. Hands are eventually going to come down. So get the wrists right under the shoulders. Lengthen through the spine, pull those abdominals in. Put that right hand right here in the middle. We're going to do a little twist. Left hand's going to draw up. Look at that hand if you can. And we're aiming for, again, that long line from the bottom hand to the top hand. Keep the hips level. And now let's bring that hand down. Try the other side. This is my tighter side. I don't know if I can get to vertical here. I'm going to try. Push into the floor. Open. Look up at that top hand. Imagine someone's pulling that hand back. And then we'll bring that hand down. Separate the hands once again. If you can, see if you can come down a little bit further. Maybe you come down to the elbows. If you have a block, you can always put a block here for a little bit of support. Feel that nice stretch through those hamstrings. And now we'll come back to the hands. Root down through the legs, hands to the hips. Inhale, stand it up. Good. We're going to take that right foot out. Going into our triangle pose now. So the legs are relatively straight. Draw up from the kneecaps, up through the quads. Take those arms out. Exhale, you're going to shift the hips over. Reach out through those fingertips. And we're going to come down to the shin or to a block if you have a block. Here's that line from bottom hand to top hand again. Good. Pull that top shoulder back. If you want, you can look up at that top hand. Now we're going to root down through that back heel to come on up. And now we're going to turn towards that front leg. Now hands can come in front or they can come in back. If you can open the shoulders and get into a little reverse namaste here, that's great. But if your hamstring is tight, you might want to be able to put those hands down. And you can't really do that if your hands are back here. So pick your poison. Inhale, sternum goes up. Exhale, lay it out over the leg, pyramid. So here again is where if you need to, hands can come down. Give yourself a little support. Especially if you find yourself rounding the back quite a bit. The hands here or hands on blocks is great. And then eventually, you can come down a little further. Bring those hands back. You can also grab the elbows. Now again, from that back foot, draw yourself up. Let's go ahead and take those arms up. Exhale, come back to the center. Let's fold over the legs again. So come on down. And this time, we're going to take that right hand, bring it towards that left ankle. So walk yourself over there. If you can, we're going to bring that left arm up. Again, you can look up at that hand. And now as we bring that hand down, let's walk ourselves over to the right. So crossing to that opposite ankle, reach the arm up. And then we bring it back down. Center it up. This time, let's see if we can take the hands around behind. Bring them over the head. Let's come a little bit deeper between those legs. And now imagine that someone's pulling on your hands, pulling on your arms. Inhale. Bring it all the way up. Good. Let's go the other way. So we're going to pivot out with that left foot. Good. Draw up through the legs. Arms go out. As we exhale, we're shifting the hips. And then we're going to hinge over. Hand to the shin, or to a block, or to the floor. Here's that long line from bottom hand to top hand. You can look up at that top hand if you'd like. If it hurts your neck, just look straight ahead. Pull that top shoulder back. Feel the opening through that side of the chest. Good. And now we're going to inhale, come up. Turn to look at that left foot. And again, pick your hand position. If you want to go here, you can place your hands down. Or if you want to test it, bring those hands back behind you. Inhale, sternum draws up. Exhale, pull the length out of the hips, out of the spine as we come down over that leg. Now watch your breath. If you're in a tight spot, you might want to hold your breath, or your breath might get choppy or forced. If that's the case, back off. You want this breath to be smooth, relaxing, cleansing. Good. Now strengthen the legs as we come up. And inhale, we draw ourselves up. Good. Take those arms up. Exhale, pivot to the front. We're going to hinge forward one more time. Hands come down. Now let's do a little side lunge. So I'm going to lunge over to the right. You might adjust the feet a little bit. So just bend that knee. You can bring the hands over. We're going to go back and forth a couple of times, trying to go a little bit lower each time. So inhale and exhale, walk your way over to the other side. Now this is going to be up to your knees, up to your ankles if you want to progress. So as I walk over here, I can let that toe lift. Sink a little deeper. Maybe that elbow goes alongside the thigh. Let's go the other way. Inhale, exhale. Good. Let's go one more time each way. Inhale and exhale. I'm going to try to keep this heel down on that bent leg. Inhale and exhale. Back to the center, both feet are down. Just heel toe those feet in a little bit closer. So they're about hip width apart. We're going to take the fingers to the big toes. So 2 fingers, hook the big toes. We're going to inhale, pull some length out, arms are straight. And now exhale, pull the head down toward the legs. Elbows are bending now. Feel those hips draw up. Inhale, draw it up again. Go ahead and unhook the toes. Bring those elbows, hands to elbows, and now just hang. This time we're going to roll up. So we want to bend those knees a little bit. Imagine there's a wall behind you. We're going to slowly roll our way up. Just feel that spinal articulation coming all the way up until we're standing. Very good. All right, we're going to make one more sun salutation, making our way to the floor. So let's go to the top of your mat. Hands into our namaste one more time. Take our breath in, draw those arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come halfway up. And now exhale, walk or jump back. And when we lower down, we're going to stay there. So let's take our time. Come on down. Once you're down on the mat, relax those feet behind you. We're going to take those hands back here too. You can just bring your nose or your forehead right to the mat. So now we're going to go into a little locust pose. So just the upper body first. As we inhale, pull those shoulders back. Lengthen out through the spine. Don't think about lifting up. Think about reaching out. And then as we exhale, lower it back down. Now, even though the legs aren't lifting, keep them active. Keep reaching out through those toes. Inhale, shoulders back. Extend. And exhale. can have the palms down. This time we're going to add the legs. A little more leverage there. Inhale, shoulders back, lengthen, point those toes, reach out. Feet don't have to stay together, but try to press them out as straight as you can. And exhale down. Let's go one more time. Inhale, shoulders back. Lengthen out through the top of the head. Press those feet back behind you. And exhale, lower down. Little child's pose to come out of that. Press up to hands and knees. Press back, relax to that lower back. We do a couple more little back bends. Takes a little balance for these next few. All right, go ahead and come up to hands and knees. We're going to start with our bird dog and then eventually go into our half bow. So I'm going to go right hand, left foot. On the inhale, lengthen out long. Put your head in alignment. Exhale, lower. Lengthen. And down. Feel your weight centered from right to left, forward and back. And down. Other side. And down. Good. One more time each way. Now get used to holding your balance here for a while because eventually we're going to try and reach the hand towards the foot. Lower down. And then the other side. Reach out. And down. All right, just a little cat stretch. Now, we're going to take right hand, reach it towards that left foot and see if we can find our half bow. So let's go ahead and just bring that foot up. Take that right hand behind, find the foot. Focus on a spot, and now press the foot into the hand and reach. If you can, start to look up so you add to that back bend. Takes a little balance there. One more breath. Exhale, release. Let's go into our cat, round it up. Flatten it out. Let's try the other side. Right leg lifts. Take that left foot, reach around. Let's see if you can find it. And now as we inhale, press that foot into the hand. We feel the opening through that side of the chest and the shoulder. We feel the back bend. We feel the hip flexor stretch. One more breath. Exhale, release. And round. And come out of that. Very good. Let's roll over onto our back. I have to move the mic a little bit, so one moment. You're going to lay on your back, knees bent, feet on the floor. Just like that. And we'll get ready for our bridge pose. Hopefully you can still see. All right, put some weight into the heels. Feet about hip width apart, hands by the sides. As you exhale, press down into those heels, raise those hips. This first one, just go for a line from the shoulders to the knees. Keep the core engaged. Look and see that those hips are level. And now you're going to melt back down. So starting with the shoulder blades, the spine rolls down. Now we're going to go up a little bit higher. So as you exhale, press into those heels, raise those hips. Now we're going to take those hands right under your hips and just rock from side to side. So you can come up on the top of the shoulders. And now feel the rib cage expand a little bit. Feel the sternum come up towards the chin. Feel some opening there in the chest and the shoulders. Watch that those knees don't fall out. Try to keep them right over the feet. Now Now as we begin to exhale, we kind of walk our way out of it. And then again, melt down. Now last time we did the wheel, we can try that again if you want. If you just want to stay with bridge, that's perfect. I'm going to start off with bridge and then we'll try wheel. So as we exhale, press again into the feet, raise the hips. So if you're going into bridge, you're going to bring those hands together underneath and roll on the shoulders again. If you want to go to wheel, we're going to take the hands up right by the ears. And it's going to take a couple of steps to get into it. So I'm going to press onto the top of the head. Take a breath and then exhale, press. And let's find a nice round wheel. Feet are active, legs are active. And then I never come out of this too pretty, but we're going to lower the head down. Take a second and rest there. And then melt down. And that's a lot for our spine, so in between, we'll hug those knees in. Slowly rock side to side. That should feel good. Good. And now one more time, because again, every class I've ever taken, every video I've ever watched, they do several back bends in a row. So you're never satisfied with just one. We're going to do one more. Bring the feet down. Again, choose your bridge, choose your wheel. Come out of wheel early if you need to. Start by raising those hips up. Take your option. If you're going into wheel, take it in a couple of steps. So just think about the heart opening. Think about the spine waking up, coming alive. And now we take the head down. Take a second. And then melt your way down. Bring those knees in. Rock it side to side. All right, we're coming into some leg stretches now, so we're almost there. Let's go ahead and put that left foot down. We're going to extend that right leg up. And if you're limited in hamstring flexibility, this is where you could use a strap or a towel or maybe just your sweatshirt. Loop it over that foot and help pull that leg closer to you. Otherwise, you can grab the thigh or the calf or the foot. And now use your breath to draw that leg in. So you're going to inhale, line it all up. Exhale, pull a little closer. Now those who'd like can straighten out that other leg. And then we're going to add just a little bit for the core. Exhale, bring the head and the shoulders up, just like you're going to kiss that thigh, kiss that knee. And now see if you can let go of that leg and just reach. And one more step if you'd like, take that bottom leg off the floor. Hold it there for 5, 4, keep breathing, 3, 2, 1. Pull that knee in as we come down. We're going to draw that right knee across the body. Bring that right arm down. Little twist. Look at that right hand if you can. Release the spine. That feels good. And out to the center. And we're going to put that foot down as the left leg comes up. So this one is tighter on me, so I'm not going to get too far on this one. Again, use a strap, use a towel, use your sweatshirt. Wrap it around that leg. Inhale, line it up. Exhale, imagine that muscle relaxing. Again, send the breath to those tight spots. Now if you can, we're going to extend that other leg down, all the way on the floor. Head and shoulders are going to lift. Feel the core activating here, so you're not holding onto the leg. You could let go, and we are going to let go. Reach those hands, Take that bottom leg off the floor, reach out through those toes. Holding it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw that knee in, relax. Now the left knee pulls across, bring that left hand down. Rolling over onto that side. You'll feel that in the hip as well as that lower back. And now let's come back to the center. We're going to hug both knees in one more time. And we'll go into our happy baby, just our lovely hip opener. You can grab the outsides of the feet or the inside of the feet. It's really up to you. I usually grab the inside, I think. So what you want to do once you grab your feet is you're going to pull down. Bring those knees toward the armpits. And that tailbone might tuck up a little bit. And that's okay. You'll get a little stretch for that lower back this way. Just let the hips release. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, just think of anything you're holding on to through anywhere in the body and just let it go. You can gently rock from side to side. Very nice. Releasing the feet, let's just hug those knees in one more time. Now we're going to come up to sitting before we do our Shavasana, just a couple of seated poses. So if you roll to your right side and press yourself up, that's going to be easier on your heart. You can also rock and roll to come up too, but I'm going to roll over. So I'm going to roll away from you for a second. Press yourself up, and then I'll turn and face you. Okay, so we're going to have those heels together in our cobbler's pose. Now if you're tight through the lower back or through the inner thighs, I always am at first, but then I warm up to it. So what you want to do first, bring the hands back behind you, press down through the hands, drop the shoulders, and then see if we can open the knees out. So you might stay here, or you just might be here for a few seconds, and then you find you can reach for the feet. But start here, find some length in the spine, get some traction through the hips, and if you like, you can bring the hands to the feet or to the ankles, and eventually take those elbows and press those knees open a little bit more. We're going to bring ourselves forward slightly. And some of you might be able to round all the way down. This gets more into the back than the legs. If you want to focus on just the inner thigh stretch, keep the back long, press the knees apart. If you want to get into the spine a little bit more, you're going to round over. And then slowly roll your way back up. And let's take those legs out in front. I'm going to turn to the side because that's where my mat's going. You can do this right here facing me. We're just going to do our seated forward bend. So once you're here on your mat, you might want to take your buns, kind of get the buns out of the way, so you're on your sit bones. Lengthen up through the spine. Take those arms up. Exhale, hinge first. And again, if you have your strap, this is a good time to grab the strap. So finding the feet, or hands can be right here. So if you're tight in the hamstrings, you stay right here. If you have that strap, you might be able to pull yourself down a little bit more, but this is just fine. You might be able to go a little bit further, but again, we're going to think about length. So as you inhale, we're going to draw from the tailbone to the top of the head, and then as you exhale, bring it forward. So in the morning, I'm always a lot tighter than in the evening. If I did the same class in the evening time, my nose might be a little closer to my knees, but since it's 10:30 in the morning, I'm a little bit tighter. We're going to take one more breath here. Inhale, draw it long. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Now I'm going to bring the hands right next to the hips. Inhale, we draw ourselves back up. And now we're going to roll back and get ready for our Shavasana. So bend those knees. Bring yourself down gently. We're going to extend those legs all the way out. Let the toes fall open to the sides. Palms are up at your sides. Close your eyes. We're just going to relax a little bit. I'm not going to turn down our music, in fact. So I want you to feel your floor supporting your weight under your head, under your shoulders, under your hips, under your heels, under your shoulder blades. And feel free to wiggle a little bit till you're in the right spot. You want to feel equal weight under each shoulder, under each hip, under each foot. And as we start taking some deep breaths and acclimating to everything we did today, let's slow down that breath. So I'm going to be doing some counts of 5. So when you breathe in, we're going to hold it and then breathe out. So I'm going to count to 5 for each. So we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it for a little bit. And then exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try that again. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it at the top. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can count on your own because it'll get a little irritating listening to me count over and over again. So just breathe in for your own count of 5. Hold it for a split second and then breathe out for that count of 5. And for every count, imagine the body relaxing a little bit more, especially on the exhale. So as you exhale, think of 1, shoulders, 2, lower back, 3, hips, 4, thighs, and 5, feet. So I'm going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold the top, and then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And think of the floor as a cloud cradling you, supporting you. Sink down into that floor a little bit. Almost like the floor is giving you a little hug. And if you find your mind is wandering, you're thinking about what you have to do later or a phone call you have to make, just acknowledge that thought, but then try to push it out of your mind. Just let it dissolve away. So all you're thinking about is your breath and how your body feels right now. What's relaxing? What's not quite relaxing? Where do you have to send your breath to get it to relax? Do one more breath all together. Count of 5. We're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. as we start to come up, we're going to take our time. Let's start by reaching those arms over the head. Give yourself that good morning stretch. Roll into that right side. So again, I'm going to turn away from you. Bring those knees in. Rolling it over. You can stay here for a second, or you can gently press yourself up. Come to a cross-leg position that's comfortable for you, whether it's simple cross legs, whether you want to try half lotus with one ankle on top, or full lotus, maybe on a different day. Let those sit bones sink into the mat, draw up through the spine. And let's go ahead and take the palms up, grab those, touch those first fingers, let the rest of the fingers just relax. Close the eyes. Let's think of 3 things that we're grateful for. We'll take 3 deep breaths. And then with each deep breath, I want you to focus on something that you're grateful for. It could be your children, your family, your job, your health, what you have outside your window. So let's take that nice deep breath in. Exhale. And now number 2, breathe in. Exhale. And then one more time, deep breath in. Exhale. Now you have this sense of calm and serenity and gratitude. Take it with you for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, the rest of your life. Namaste. Now watch me get up. All right, cross fingers everybody, that we can have yoga on the beach on Friday.